Welcome to Channel 17, the Town of Colonie Government Channel.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Savino, and welcome to Bite Me, where I travel around the Capital District talking with people who were bitten by the entrepreneurial bug, and then they decided to start their own business in the food or beverage industry. Today, we're at 5th and 50 Pizza in Scotia, New York. I actually met the owner of 5th and 50 when we were shooting at Lori's Gluten-Free Goodness. He stopped in to pick some of their famous pizza dough, and they actually make gluten-free pizza right here. Their gluten-free pizza is so good, in fact, that it won them the #1 spot at Pizza Wars earlier this year. I'm a huge fan of pizza, so let's head on inside and see what's cooking at 5th and 50. So I'm here with Bob at 5th and 50 to find out a little bit about how he started his own business. So tell me a little bit about when you were bitten by the entrepreneurial bug.
I started at a young age owning a pizzeria in Schenectady with 2 partners, and we did very well. My partners wanted to move on, so I started looking around to open my own business again.
Good for you.
And I found 5th and 50 for sale.
Yep.
And it took me about 6 months to hash out the details, but I ended up purchasing this place and becoming an entrepreneur again.
Yes. So you find that working for yourself is definitely better for you in terms of what you want to do for yourself.
For me, yes.
Okay, fantastic. What are some of your goals and aspirations for your business, even though I know you've been in business for quite a long time at this point?
My goal is to make a consistent income, especially with the economy the way it is.
Absolutely.
So as long as I can make a living and survive doing what I like to do, then that's a positive.
So I know you won Pizza Wars earlier this year. Tell me a little bit about some of the accomplishments and a little bit about winning Pizza Wars. It's so exciting.
Pizza Wars, oh my God. That was a stressful day.
I bet.
But
Where was it held?
At Proctor's.
Okay. Oh, that's right down the street.
So yeah, so
Perfect.
we did have a little bit of an advantage there to get fresh product delivered faster than other people that are far away. But I was overly prepared for it, which was a good thing.
Hey, it's better to be overly prepared than underprepared.
Totally. So anyway, 1,750 people ended up showing up.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So obviously we're running out of product like most places were.
Of course.
Some people had run out and had none the rest of the night. Other places kept getting pizza in, and we were one of those pizzerias. So anyway, they started turning people away at 7:30, and they were supposed to be from 5 to 9.
Oh boy.
So I went and found one of the sponsors and said, I got fresh product coming here. You need to not turn away people.
Right.
Now understanding that if it gets too crowded, that's an issue.
Yeah,
But I don't think that was so much the thing. So anyway, they ended up letting another, whatever, a couple hundred people in. So almost 2,000 people showed up.
Oh my goodness. That's
for the 500 expected.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. 4 times the amount than they expected.
Yes.
Any interesting, funny, or unique stories that you've encountered since being in business? I'm sure you probably have plenty.
We've actually had drivers delivered to naked people.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Makes for a wild
That's
night.
always interesting.
Uh-huh.
People that grab a pizza and walk out the door with under an arm like it's a book.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm sure, and the cheese is
and
probably
you're just
like
watching
hanging
going,
out.
oh my God, yeah.
Well, it still tastes the same, right? It just doesn't look
Now
so
it's a
pretty.
calzone.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some of the biggest challenges in getting started with your own business?
The first biggest challenge was finding help, good help, reliable help. And I guess consistently throughout the years, it is having good customer service. And I don't just mean by putting out product and being friendly at the counter when you have complaints. Because some people are the best people in the world and you can reason with them and they'll understand problems. Other people, you cannot correct anything for the life of yourself, so it's not even worth arguing or trying to straighten things out. So that's always a challenge in this business.
So what one menu item really represents 5th and 50 as a business?
I'd have to say pizza.
Pizza.
We're a pizzeria.
The cheese pizza.
And what we just discussed, yes.
Okay, all right. Well,
cheese pizza is the best way to tell how good a place is.
All right. Cheese pizza is one of my all-time favorite foods, so I'm super excited to try this award-winning, 2 times over award-winning cheese pizza. Let's go see how it's made. Alrighty, it's pizza time. It's time to find out how Bob makes his award-winning pizza right here at 5th and 50. Right, let's see how it's done.
All right. With the cheese?
All right, let's see.
The basic?
Okay.
Dough.
First and foremost, do you make your own dough?
Flour,
here?
absolutely.
Okay.
Every day.
That's labor intensive, isn't it? Because you have to let it rise, and I mean, it's a...
Yes, most mom and pop shops do make their own dough.
Okay. I think that's another, like you were saying, quality ingredients. I think that's another part that
you got to
really
do
adds to the quality.
You have to do the dough right. Ours is simple, yet effective.
Okay.
So one of the things we do here, besides make good pizza, is we do hand toss pizza.
Okay.
Which a lot of places don't do. So it's labor intensive, it's time intensive, but it makes a nice New York style thin crust.
So are you one of those people that can flip it up in the air?
Hand toss, yes.
That's pretty cool.
So we're gonna try that right now.
Should I back up? I don't know.
So this is what's labor intensive about hand toss.
Okay.
You're not just taking a pan and saucing and cheesing it and throwing it in the oven.
Right.
You have to do this whole rigmarole
Really,
here.
it's kind of a labor of love here, where
Yep.
you're really working it out and making that crust.
So first you're making that nice crust.
Okay.
The next thing I want to do is stretch a little bit.
Okay. I see.
And I want to make sure I got a good amount of dough in the center of it,
Okay, why is that?
because when I go to slap it,
Yep.
if it's the same thickness everywhere, it'll get thin in the middle. So I'm basically just throwing it back and forth.
And then
from the
stretching
hand,
it out a little bit.
rolling it out my forearms a little bit.
Wow. It's quite the technique. That thing, if I were doing
Little
it.
dismount,
Awesome. I give that a 10 out of 10.
pizza screen.
All right.
Now you could actually put this right on the bricks,
Okay.
but we
What
use
does
the
the screen
screen.
do?
The screen allows you to cook it longer.
Okay.
So like for toppings per se, you can actually cook the toppings more.
Mm-hmm.
So now just making sure it's completely round,
Mm-hmm.
which I almost had it down. Guess what's in here?
Pizza toppings. All right.
Cheese and sauce.
Now, do you make your own sauce here?
Absolutely.
Make it from scratch. Let's see how it's.
Some sauce on this one.
Okay.
All right, someone's got to get that phone.
The place is busy. They're getting calls left and right. Time for a little cheese.
Fluff it up a little bit so it spreads out nice and evenly.
Yep. Do you use like a higher fat mozzarella or anything like that?
Yes.
Okay.
They call it whole milk, not
Whole
high
milk?
fat. Whole milk, low
Or
moisture.
just whole deliciousness, whatever you want to go with.
Whole moisture, low milk equals best taste.
All right. Oh my gosh, it's finally time for me to try this awesome pizza. All right. Oh my gosh, it looks awesome. I'm so excited.
Voila.
Thank you so much. All right, here we go. Number one award-winning pizza. And cheese is like my all-time favorite anyway, so it smells so good, you guys. Oh my gosh. Mmm. Mmm. It's awesome. Oh my gosh. This pizza is amazing. The crust is so crispy. I love the sauce. The cheese just melts in your mouth. It's so, so good. I can totally see why they were the #1 spot for Pizza Wars earlier this year. The only thing that could really top off this day would be to have dessert. That's why we're headed to Sundaes Best so we can try that awesome hot fudge. Now we're at Sundaes Best in Saratoga Springs, New York. And as of today, they are celebrating 10 sweet years of being in business. They have some of the best hot fudge around, and there's a good reason for that. One of the owner's mom has actually been making it for over 40 years now. When she used to make it for friends and family, they would beg for the recipe. That's when the owners knew that they had a great product. But it wasn't until they stumbled upon a truck that was for sale from 1956 with the perfect color chocolate brown and vanilla cream that actually pushed them into launching this as a business. And why not? They've got the perfect delivery truck now. Accolades include being featured on the Food Network with both Bobby Flay and Al Roker, so we know that they made the right decision. So let's head on inside and see what the fudge is going on at Sundaes Best. So I'm sitting down with Katie at Sundaes Best to find out a little about how she started this awesome hot fudge business. Thanks so much for taking the time to sit down with me. Tell me a little bit about when you were bitten by the entrepreneurial bug.
I think I was bitten by the entrepreneurial bug fairly early in my life, but more poignantly, I think it was in the, I would want to say the fall of 1995 when my dad was very sick and we were talking about this guy that I worked for and he was very difficult. And my father said, you know what, maybe you should start your own business. There should be only one jerky you should work for, and that should be yourself.
yourself.
And so that kind of got the bug, you know, that kind of planted the seed in my head. You know, I probably could do something on my own, you know.
Sure.
I've done all these other jobs. And I thought, I kind of went into this whole venture thinking the worst thing that could happen is I would fail and I'd have to go back to work for somebody else, and I've done that.
Right.
So here we go. Let's
Right,
go.
let's go
Giddy
for
up,
it.
right?
Settle, let's go, let's go.
Let's go, right.
And where'd you get the name for your hot fudge business?
Oh, that was a really
It's
good
very
story.
cool and it's very catchy. I love it.
My husband Jeff is a marketer as well. He went to Ohio State. He never calls himself a marketer. He's very, very clever, and it's his creative outlet. But we talked about a million different names. And, you know, Jeff's mom is a Presbyterian, ordained Presbyterian minister. After her kids went to college, she went back to divinity school, which is kind of neat. And so it's
cool.
her recipe that she handed down. So we were going to call it Holy Hot Fudge. Or, then we're going to call it, you know, Saratoga Hot Fudge. And I'm like, there's just, you know, that's great and everything. But what is it about this hot fudge? And I think it makes Sundaes best. So there we go. The name came, and and it all flowed from
It
there.
works.
Yes,
It works.
it does. I think it's important to know.
I totally do, and it's really catchy, and I love the logo that you have on your jars too. Tell me a little bit about this cool chalk from 1956 that helped push you into starting Sundaes Best.
You know, I'm a big classified. I read the obituaries and the classifieds, and I was in the classified section of Ad Digest one day, just peeking through it, looking for nothing particular, and I saw this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, isn't this cute? Wouldn't that make the cutest little delivery truck? And the picture was about, you know, this big, and I was like, oh, we should take a look at it. We happened to be going that way one day. I was visit some friends. I called, and I was just about ready to hang up the phone. Nobody's going to answer, and this little voice answered the phone, and I said, I'm calling about the truck. Is it still available? Yeah, come by. So we're driving down in the main street of Hoosick Falls, New York, which is not very big.
Yep.
And we're going to take the left-hand turn. This is before GPS, and I'm like, there it is, and there it sat. We call it the Big Denny, or affectionately the Cocoa Bus, but it's a 1956 International Travelall. And before we could even make the turn, I was writing the check. I said, this is what I want. I want this vehicle. Exactly.
What is your most popular flavor?
Oh, by far original.
Original.
Yeah.
Oldie but a goodie, right?
Oldie but a goodie. People are like, it's like vanilla ice cream.
Yep.
It's like the staple in our line.
Absolutely.
People everybody has a little different taste or flavor that they like, but you know, true, they go back to the original.
What's your favorite?
Original.
Original?
I'm pretty much a chocolate purist. Yeah.
Oh, I am too. I love anything with chocolate or sugar in it. So tell me, what goes into making your hot fudge?
Well, it's kind of I like to say it's a day and a half journey to make hot fudge, because the day before I go to the dairy. Sometimes the morning of I go to the dairy. We're really blessed to use local dairy stewards. They have award-winning milk, and I go to the dairy and get our dairy and our butter, and we use Cabot butter out of Vermont, and I'm really proud of that. And not to name names, but I think it's really important because they're strong family businesses that give back to the community.
Yep,
that's important, and I buy into that concept 100%.
Absolutely.
So we get the dairy, we get the jars ready, and then it takes about 5.5 hours from start to finish to cook a batch.
Okay. Do you have any advice for someone that's looking to start their own business?
I definitely believe that go big or go home.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do it, don't be afraid. Jump in with both feet. I think the hardest thing to realize, I'm very fortunate in a way that I don't have any children at my age, so Sundaes Best has been my child. It's a 7-day-a-week job. The time commitment is just be prepared for the time commitment. I have worked in the wholesale gift business for many years, and I've worked in the marketing. I had my own marketing consulting business, and my friends in the marketing business say, oh, you left a job where you didn't travel on the weekends, you never worked nights.
Yep.
But it's all about the passion.
Absolutely. I totally agree. What are some of your goals and aspirations for the business?
Our goal is to be in everybody's refrigerator if you want the down and dirty, the sweetness.
I don't have a problem with that, or for my friends and family.
I want to just keep doing it while it's fun. It's a great, we've made something more of it from a family tradition. I love sharing that. You know, on some of our labels I say start a family tradition, you know, Sunday tradition with us. And I think that's important. I think, you know, in my general philosophy is that food is love. And yet when you share chocolate or sweets, it is a wonderful experience, and you're sharing memories and making memories. And if I can be a part of that, I think that's even better. But I'd like to be in everybody's fridge.
Well, where can we get your products so we can make sure that you are up in everybody's fridge?
Well, our products are available in the Capital District, locally in the Capital District, a lot of places. Tons of places. Yep. And
online too? Or?
Always online at sundaesbest.com. For our 10th anniversary, we've invested in a new website, and I'm kind of excited about that. Although we're not launching it the first month, we're not launching it until January, but I'm excited about that. I am very blessed with the people that have supported us, especially the Saratoga Capital Region.
Yep.
We have been embraced by retailers. They continue. We have 4 or 5 outlets on Broadway alone in Saratoga.
Yeah,
and people say, how do you do that? I'm like, well, everybody, it just works.
It works, and plus you have a phenomenal product, so that helps out too.
That.
So,
yeah.
What are some accomplishments that you would like to mention since you've started your business?
Well, we've been on the Food Network, which people
that's huge.
It was huge.
That's huge.
I don't tout that probably as much as I should.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
We've been on the Food Network. That was terrific. Great. It made a national recognition. Getting our own commercial space was something, because when I first started, I would drive 151 miles from Saratoga to north of Burlington to use a cooperative kitchen. It was very difficult. That was very challenging. I look back and go, how did I ever do that?
Right.
But We've worked to get our own space. I'm very happy about that. We've grown our business from one original jar to now 10 flavors.
That's great. 10 flavors for your 10-year anniversary, right?
We are, we make a lot of people happy on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah.
We've given back to the community as much as we possibly can, as far as I'm always open for giving donations and product and sharing the hot fudge, spreading the world of hot fudge.
Yep.
I think that the Food Network has been great with the Bobby Flay Throwdown. It's been terrific.
That's great.
We've been at Rachel Ray's magazine.
Yep.
You coming here to talk about our business with us is great. It's kind of like your kid. I could talk about it forever.
Absolutely. So let's head on over to the kitchen and see what this hot fudge is all about.
Let's make the ultimate hot fudge sundae.
Let's do it.
Okay.
It's hot fudge sundae time. I'm so excited. Okay. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna start with.
Today we are going to make the Sunday's Best Ultimate Hot Fudge Sundae. Now, we've tested this a lot. And my husband Jeff does test this every night to make sure it
You've
works.
got to make sure everything's good. It's good, you know?
So we put a really generous amount of hot fudge on the bottom.
Okay.
And then
I like
we
where this is
pick
headed.
our favorite ice cream flavor.
Which is?
Which is always vanilla in our house sometimes.
Well, you don't want to mess with the integrity of the hot fudge, so let's go with vanilla so we can really get to it.
Two good scoops on, because one is just never enough.
No, definitely not.
We like Philly vanilla because Philadelphia vanilla, because it's really, I don't know, it just hits the spot.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to use one of these long handle spoons. Okay. We've got our spoon in there to taste, which is already chocolatey. Drizzle the hot fudge sauce on. The best part about our product is we use real sugar, so it stays creamy and smooth and delicious, and you can heat the jar and reheat it, use it. So we like a lot of hot fudge where I come from.
Yeah, you can't have too much.
That's right.
I think it should be equal parts hot fudge and ice cream in my world anyway.
Exactly, it definitely should. Our will too. We also like some nuts.
Okay.
My husband always eats nuts. Today we're going to use some cashews.
One of the
because
best.
They're really good and really fresh. I just got these the other day from the store, and so they're terrific.
Yeah.
Some people would put sprinkles. Jeff Shinneman and I, we never use sprinkles.
Okay.
My nephews always love it. And then I take a nice dollop of whipped cream.
Okay.
And then the crowning glory is just one more spoonful into the jar. I know it's crazy.
No, it's not. It's genius.
We'll put a little bit more chocolate on there because, what's whipped without a little chocolate?
Totally. Every little surface has to be touching some chocolate.
Just because it's the holidays, we're going to put a pinch of sprinkles
Holiday
for those flair.
Oh my gosh.
And then I'm going to give it to our hostess to take a bite.
I'm the luckiest person in the world right now because I get to taste this amazing hot fudge sundae.
Oh,
and I know I'm going to get it all over my face and I can't wait. Oh my God.
Oh, I don't think it's ever
honestly
better when it's warm. Yes.
I have never had hot fudge any better than that. It is so awesome. Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
Katie, thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you.
This is some of the best hot fudge I have ever had in my entire life.
I appreciate that.
I'm going to help in your goal in getting it in everybody's refrigerator in the United States. Thank you so much for tuning in to Bite Me. Check us out next week. Thanks. I'm Jennifer Savino, and I've set out to discover all of the delicious food and beverage businesses right here in the Capital District. Having owned my own baking company, I know the struggles and enjoyments that come with being in the industry. My passion for food and small business has led me to start Bite Me. Join me as I learn, love, and laugh one bite at a time. Today we're at the Fortunate Cup in Saratoga Springs, New York. Named after a thoroughbred horse, the Fortunate Cup specializes in gourmet coffee, loose leaf tea, and tons of different sandwiches. Are you in the mood for breakfast? Head on in for one of their breakfast paninis, where your fillings would be sandwiched between two grilled waffles. Yum! If you're in a rush, you can use their drive-through window, or if you need to meet with someone, head on over, use their free Wi-Fi, and cozy up next to the fireplace. All right, let's gallop on into the Fortunate Cup. So we're here with Doreen at the Fortunate Cup. And Doreen, tell me a little bit about when you were bitten by the entrepreneurial bug.
Well, my husband and I started our own business about back in 1987.
Okay.
We've been in the financial industry since then, and we had our own business.
So you started your own financial business?
Yep.
Okay.
We did insurance planning and financial planning, and we still have that business right now. So
Okay.
we've been doing that for quite a few years. So this is sort of just a continuation of, our own business again.
Right, so you just wanted to continue owning your own business, and you decided to get into the coffee kind of world. And
Well, we owned this property for quite a few years, and my husband decided to build the actual building. I thought that we should have some business in the building to bring people here to see it.
sure.
And I did a lot of research and realized that the only thing that wasn't really prevalent on this side of town was a place for people to meet and gather and get together. And so I started doing a little more research and said, you know something, I can do this.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just make a community spot where the people can just walk in off the street, the high school kids can come in.
Well, I was going to say, you've got the high school right there, you've got the college right there. And
Y.
I mean, it's a perfect location.
It is. It's become great. It's great to see people from the high school.
Yeah.
We have tutors who are sitting here right now, tutoring high school kids.
That's great.
Teachers come
Free
in.
Wi-Fi, right? So people can come
Absolutely.
in. That's awesome.
We get a very large business clientele.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Where'd you get the name? I love the name, the
The
Fortunate
name
Cup.
actually came from a neighbor of mine, a good friend. She got into the horse business because she loves horses.
Yeah.
And her first horse was called Fortunate Storm.
Okay.
And this horse just won everything. It was just such a wonderful experience for her. It was so lucky because it was her first experience with
Right.
a horse.
Right.
And I thought that the name Fortunate Storm was just such a lucky name for her that
great.
I couldn't get out of my head. And then all of a sudden Fortunate Cup popped in my head and I couldn't go anywhere but there.
You've had a lot of success because you've been open
I've been
a few years now.
I've
so.
been very fortunate.
That's great.
Yes,
That's great.
yes.
Now, I know they have a drive-through window. That's really, really cool.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about that. And
The drive-through is great because, people don't see parking out front here, parking's in the rear. So to know that they don't have to stop, get out of the car and come in on their way
Right.
to work is a great time-saving thing for them.
Yeah, it's
Parents
great.
with children want to stop through the drive-through window.
Right.
It's over 20% of my business is the
Wow.
drive-through,
Wow.
which means I
that's a big chunk.
definitely serve a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
that
And
need
you always
it.
think of like a quick coffee shop, like a big chain with a drive-through. You never
Yeah.
think of like something that offers muffins and paninis and stuff like that that
Exactly.
have a drive-through. So
And
it's-
people can call ahead and then pick up an order at
Oh,
the
wow.
drive-through window.
Oh my gosh,
And
that's great.
businesses love that. Pharmaceutical reps
Uh-huh.
and other business people like that, they just love being able
I'm
to pick up
actually
their
a
order.
pharmaceutical rep.
Well, hello.
So that's
Wonderful.
interesting, yeah. And you also have a conference room as well, so people can come in and have a meeting. And
Yes, we
okay.
rent the conference room out.
Okay.
It's been rented almost every day this week, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
And different types of people rent it, from business people to book clubs. Today we have a group of ladies and they're playing mahjong.
Oh wow.
So we get a lot of use for the conference room.
And how many people does it fit?
If it's about 15 people,
Okay,
comfortably.
so it's a good size.
Yeah, more if you're just going to have a classroom style seating.
Right. And do you have any funny, interesting, or unique stories you've encountered since being in business?
Well, we always get the steady customers who just come back in time after time. And actually, we have a customer who comes in almost every day. She and her husband. They first came in before I opened. And they walked in thinking we were open, and they sat down and they were suddenly very embarrassed we weren't open.
Uh-huh.
And I said, don't move, you're fine. I had to practice anyway. So I
Right.
made them some lattes.
Oh,
And I
nice.
gave them some papers to read.
Right.
So just sit here as long as you want.
Right.
And I
They're
think
like your test customers.
And they sat by the window and they kind of got comfortable and looked around. And they've been back almost every day since
Wow,
for
that's-
over 3 years.
That's great.
They are amazing. They're our favorite customers.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of have a little history with them now
Yeah.
too. So now, what are some of the biggest challenges you're facing in today's economy? Have you run into many, or
Well, sure. I mean, when we first opened 3.5 years ago, the economy was just dismal. And there was nothing on this road at all. So it was really an uphill battle, really difficult.
Right.
Saratoga is known for Broadway.
Right.
We're off Broadway.
right?
So getting people this direction is difficult. During the tourist season, I couldn't get the tourists here, so I decided I have to maybe, in that case, advertise to the locals.
Right.
The locals know where I am.
Right.
So, all right, fine.
And it's nice
advertise
if you're
to
getting
them.
started in a really bad economy. There's really nowhere to go but up from there. So
You
it's
know
kind
it.
of
Yeah, so everything
uphill
looks
from
like
there.
everything looks like an improvement.
Well, exactly. So that's kind
Yeah.
of nice.
Yeah, and it's tough because people are cutting back
They
on
are.
their spending, and sometimes maybe a specialty drink that's like, wow, that's a treat for them now.
Right, it's a splurge at this point.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
other nice thing is if it is a splurge, it's an affordable splurge if they come in on like a Saturday or a Sunday, so that's
I mean,
nice
for $3, they can really have a nice wonderful experience and sit
Sure.
and relax and read a
nice.
paper or
Yeah.
chat with their friends and bump into people they know here.
Exactly.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
And I saw you have a chocolate peanut butter frap. I've been eyeballing since
Yes.
you walked in. That looks really,
Yeah.
really good.
Absolutely.
So that's a little splurge. Yeah. Are you a member of the Chamber of Commerce locally?
Yep. Actually, the Chamber of Commerce meet here twice a month.
Okay.
For one of their
The
groups.
Saratoga?
Yep. They have
Okay.
like a leads group, and they do meet here twice a month.
Okay.
And they're great. We see quite a few chamber members come
nice.
come through the door. So
I like that
Yeah.
community involvement, being a chamber member, and you know,
Absolutely.
utilizing their business. They come in and utilize your business. It's you know,
yeah,
really
we're all
important.
local, so
exactly.
that makes a big difference when you
Yeah.
patronize one another.
No, I think that's great. Now, what's your most popular menu item that you have here?
Probably our Fortunate Latte.
Okay, what's in that?
It's a caramel latte.
Okay, you got my
And-
interest already.
Yeah, and it's sweet and it's just the creaminess of the caramel and everything. I just thought that would be the one latte to name after our business.
Did you make that one up yourself?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's just your basic caramel latte, but we just make it.
You know,
we
sometimes
enjoy
it's the
making
simple, most delicious combination of just coffee,
Yeah.
caramel.
Yeah.
Oh, yum.
We love that.
Yeah. And would you say that that is the one menu item that really represents the Fortunate Cup as a business?
I would say so because that's what people think of when they see coffee shops. They think lattes and
Right.
And caramel to me is a rich,
Oh yeah.
warm. It's like the color of the swall.
Yeah, it's
you
awesome.
know, it
It's
just
awesome.
it just has the good feeling to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's warm.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So we're gonna head into the kitchen with Doreen to see how she makes the Fortunate Latte. Okay, the latte is already starting out good because you've got some Ghirardelli caramel syrup in here. All right, Doreen.
Absolutely.
All right, where's the best place for this? Right here?
Okay, sure. I'm going to
All
put
right.
some shots in here and
Okay.
we're going to get ourselves going.
Oh my gosh. I could just probably drink that.
Okay.
So this is what, freshly ground coffee beans?
Freshly ground espresso beans.
Okay. Smells great.
Yep. And we're just going to set it up.
Okay.
And we're going to put some milk in here.
All right, sounds good. Do you use whole milk for this?
We will.
All right.
Although I find that skim milk foams a little nicer.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
But whole milk probably tastes a little better.
Yeah.
That's great.
You want to steam the milk so that we get some nice warm steam and
Yeah.
get that going.
Okay. This looks great. So you sell a lot of these every day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fortunate Latte is definitely a very big seller.
It must be luck if you have one of these, right?
I like to think that way.
I think so. All I know is the smell of the caramel and the coffee and the cream is pretty awesome right now.
So I make the milk too hot.
Right? Okay.
That's just right. Excuse me.
Yeah, oh, sure. Definitely don't want to get in your way. It's a nice size latte too.
Yeah, this is our medium size.
Yeah, that's great. Wow, that looks awesome.
Yeah, I don't really want to sauce it, but maybe you just want to.
Yeah.
Drink it as is.
All right. I definitely want
There
to
you
taste
go.
this. Oh my gosh. Look at this latte. It looks awesome. Oh my gosh. The caramel, the espresso, the cream. It's so delicious. You definitely want to get down here to the Fortunate Cup to try this latte or one of the other many lattes that they have here. Now we're heading over to Wheats and Sweets so I can get some treats to go with my latte. Definitely want to follow us over there. We're at Wheats and Sweets Bakery in Ballston Spa, New York. Opened in May of 2010, Wheats and Sweets has sweetening people's lives ever since. Frank, the owner, decided to follow his dreams and fill the streets of Ballston Spa with the smell of fresh baked bread. Not only do they have awesome bread, you can also get cakes, muffins, scones, and pies, just to name a few. If you have a special request, Frank will make it for you. This is truly your hometown bakery. My only request, I want to head on inside and see what kind of treats I can get right here at Wheats and Sweets. Let's go. So Frank, thanks so much for taking the time to meet with us today. Just tell me a little bit about when you were bitten by the entrepreneurial bug.
Probably when I was about 12.
Okay.
You know, selling newspapers and doing odd jobs, and always enjoyed that sense of accomplishment. So as a very young person, I always kind of wanted my own business.
Right.
Never really had the courage to do it.
So it's kind of in there, but you were kind of like, what is this? You know, I know I want to do something for myself.
Always.
You didn't quite know what exactly it was.
Could never really identify it. You
Okay.
know, took a few stabs at different things.
Yeah.
And said, that's not right. But I
Right.
learned very quickly.
And I think it's trial and error until you really find your true passion and what really makes you.
Yeah, it's definitely trial and
entrepreneur.
error. But you also have to be willing to kind of stick your neck out into it.
Yeah.
And do it.
Take some risks.
Yes.
Take some risks. What made you want to start Wheats and Sweets?
I couldn't find a decent loaf of bread. So I started baking my own.
You know, sometimes a business is born out of a problem you have yourself, right?
It's very true. I taught myself to cook, and I really love gourmet cooking.
Uh-huh.
And what complements a great meal than a
Loaf of
perfect
bread.
loaf of bread.
Yeah.
And so I started making my own bread. I lived in an apartment building, and people would knock on my door and say, "What's that smell?" And it wasn't long before there'd be a note slipped underneath my door. Apartment 16C, if you're baking, can I have
You're
a loaf?
filling up the community with fresh baked bread
Exactly.
smells.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love the smell of fresh baked bread anyway? I mean, I would chase anybody down if they were
Oh,
making fresh baked bread.
I open the doors in the summer when the bread's baking and people
It just
come
pulls
from
people right
oh,
in, I'm
it
sure.
certainly does.
Yeah. Where'd you get the name for your business, Wheats and Sweets, which I love, by the way?
It's kind of corny story.
Yeah, I love the corny stories.
I always keep a notebook on my nightstand. I've been a poetry writer for all of my life.
Okay.
So I learned early on, leave a note and a pencil, and I woke up one morning and then the words wheat and sweet were written on that paper, and that's the name of the company.
I love it. I love it. Susan was kind of just, it happened organically and you
Some
just-
cosmic ray came.
I think it's
yeah,
awesome.
right.
And how did you learn how to bake? 'Cause, I mean, it smells amazing in here, and there's an array of amazing looking baked goods.
I did get an opportunity to mentor with a pastry chef. I say mentor, but that was more of show up at 4 a.m., do all of his work,
Okay.
and go home at 7.
Okay, gotcha.
And so that was more about technique.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been, Rachel Ray gave me a lot of confidence in cooking, so I would just pick up a book and say, you know what, I'm going to make that.
Yeah. What are some of your goals and aspirations for Wheats and Sweets?
I'd like Wheats and Sweets to be exactly what it is. It's a community-based business. I live about a mile from here.
So you live right here in the
Wheats-
community?
Yep, it's
You're
called
part of Boston
Hometown
Spot?
Bakery because
Yep.
it's our hometown. I think I would like to see some additional commercial accounts.
Mm-hmm.
That's starting. I've started to do breads for some restaurants, rolls for some restaurants,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't started to do desserts for them. The other side of the business is desserts, and I think I'd also like to see Wheats and Sweets grow. Last year we did 2 wedding cakes. This year I'd like to do 4.
Right. Right. So just kind of set those small goals and kind of achieve those goals as
Yeah.
you're going. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Now I know you mentioned that your sugar cookie recipe was featured in the Saratogian.
That
Tell me
was-
a little bit about that and how you
I-
were featured in there.
Well, I got a phone call and they said, would you be willing? And I thought about it for a little bit and I said, well, why would I give my recipe
Right.
out to everybody in Saratoga County? What would keep them coming here? And then when I thought about it, I said, you know, it's not a bad idea. The biggest challenge was scaling it down.
Right.
So that the average person could take 2 eggs.
Right. As a
and-
baker, I don't want to bake for 35 people.
Right, you know, you go
Unless
from
it's the holidays,
making
maybe you
5
never cook
pounds
cookies
of dough
stage.
to, you know, a half a pound
Right,
of dough.
right, something a
It
little
doesn't
more manageable.
sound like it would be challenging, but it is. So
Right.
that was a lot of fun, and it was in the life section, and I've actually had people come in and I used some terms, I guess, that people didn't understand. So I did have some customers come in and say, what does it mean to do this? And I said,
Hey, but they came in, right?
they sure did, and they had their recipe in hand.
That's it. And then they get to see that you have scones and muffins and cheesecakes and all that cool stuff. So you know, I think it's important to give out a little, and then you kind of draw on that customer base.
And
you know?
that's a lot about our business.
Right.
When you open a business in a community, you're part of that community. And if you
Absolutely.
don't take that seriously, the people in the community will understand that very, very quickly.
Sure. And I love the fact, like, so if I said, Frank, can you make me, I don't know, I love scones, but I want a chocolate chip scone. You could do that for me?
I've done it for many customers.
Great.
I
That's
have
awesome.
a customer coming in tonight. She's making king cakes for the Feast of the Epiphany.
Yep.
And she needs self-rising sweet dough.
Mm-hmm.
So when you finish, I will make sweet dough for her so that she can roll out her king cakes.
That's awesome.
so-
So you're really here to help everybody out in
Yeah.
the community, which I think is, you know, it's fantastic. I mean,
And the
it's really
community gives
important
it back to
be
you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So do you have any advice for anyone that's looking to start their own business, maybe in, opening a bakery or even just getting into the food business in general?
Plan. The Small Business Administration here in the state of New York has a great planning guide.
Okay.
Go through the guide without any help first, then go get some help.
Okay.
Get a mentor or somebody that's been through a startup.
That's a great idea.
The other thing is do not undercapitalize. If you have a number in mind, say it's $25,000 to start your business, double it.
Right. It always ends up costing more with any project,
Yep. And work hard to get that capital.
Yep.
And finally, if you're going to lease, we lease from Spa Properties Group. Know your landlords, know them well. They will help you. They will drive business your way because your success is their success.
Exactly. And I think it makes for a good relationship, and if you're kind of butting heads, it's just never going to work, and then you're going to end up moving out, and it's just going to be a big fiasco.
Yeah,
so.
and there are going to be times when it's going to be tough to make your rent.
Right.
And if you can pick up the phone and tell your landlord it's going to be an extra 5 days, you're not going to get a hassle.
It probably helps you have scones too. So, can I just sweeten your day with a few scones?
That doesn't hurt. They actually love the scones.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Which menu item is your most popular? Would you say?
The most popular item I bake is probably I call it a sweet cream scone. And it's totally unique. People have told me that they have never tasted a scone quite like it.
It sounds totally unique and totally phenomenal.
It's the only product that I ship out, and I only ship it to my sister-in-law every other month because she says, you have got to send me a dozen scones.
I'm not calling you ever again. I get that.
Yep, all the time.
Yeah. What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite menu item?
My favorite menu item? Probably cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
That's the one I take home from time to time.
I know. Everyone's kind of got their little
That's my comfort food.
Yeah, I totally get it. So today we're going to kind of go through the process of making scones, right?
You bet.
Okay. So right here, Frank's going to show us how these awesome scones are made. So we've got everything mixed together, and it looks like you're going to put me to work here.
You betcha. You're on the spot, Jen.
All right. Okay. It's time. I've done this a few thousand times, but I'm ready to do it again. All right. Here we go. Oh my God. It smells pretty awesome. Now, how long do you bake these for?
These will go in the oven for 25 minutes at 325 degrees.
Okay. And then they come out piping hot, right?
Come out piping hot. A scone is an old-fashioned biscuit.
Oh, yeah?
We make ours unique using sweet cream and a little bit extra butter and a couple other ingredients I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, yeah, we don't want to give away your secret recipe. All right, that awesome scone we were talking about earlier, moment of truth. It looks pretty awesome. Oh my God. Flavor is phenomenal. It's soft with a little bit of crunchy sugar on the outside. And that addition of the fruit has a little bit of sweetness and tartness. That is one heck of a scone, Frank.
Thank you kindly.
I think making the transition over to Wheats and Sweets was a really good idea. Thank you so much for tuning in to Bite Me. If you've been bitten by the entrepreneurial bug, or you just have a place locally that you'd love to see featured on our show, please visit bitemeshow.com. We'll see you next time. Bite Me.
Welcome to Channel 17, the Town of Colonie Government Channel.